Hey everybody, welcome back again. Second time live for me today. This is not my normal live time, so I appreciate people as you're jumping in. Thank you for joining me today. We're going to be watching the announcement from Trump, the investment announcement. That's the plan. As a matter of fact, I was just in touch with Joe, Mr. Trade Intuition. He said he should be joining us a little bit later. He's not quite, or at least when I talked to him last, he wasn't quite home yet. So hopefully he'll be jumping on in here with us for that. So don't forget, vote in the poll. What do you think? Is crypto going to be part of this investment announcement coming from the White House? I think given what we saw over the weekend, the likelihood is high. Welcome, everybody. I can see people starting to jump in. Appreciate you being here. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tick that bell icon, click the all, and share this thing. Help me get this thing out. And don't forget, smash up that like. Appreciate everybody being here. Let's take a quick check into the chat and see who is here. And 100 Air in the house. Hit that like button like 5 times. You can thank me later. There you go. 100 Air said. Yes, exactly. Appreciate that. Awesome. Joe chiming in right here. He will be joining us in about 10 minutes. Awesome. Awesome. Looking forward to that. I'm going to keep an eye right now to make sure that we don't miss it. It looks like they've got the coverage slated to begin in about 7 minutes. And we're going to be just jumping into, actually, I've got myself set to watch Sky News. I tried to watch it straight from the White House. That was my plan, but I don't see it listed in the White House. So maybe it will kind of jump in after. We will see. We shall see. Jesse is in the house. Jesse, appreciate you being here, man. And thank you for all of your hard work in here all the time. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. So let's talk a couple of things. Now, beside the fact that this may or may not have anything to do with crypto, because again, what the hell do I know? Old guy, interwebs. I have no idea what the hell's going on, right? But no. Anyway, I do have opinions though. And speaking of opinions, make sure that you're joining me, BC Port Corp and Crypto Bedell tomorrow night for I'm trying to get this up on the screen so you can see it. We're going to be giving you our opinions on what the announcement was over the weekend by President Trump as to the strategic crypto reserve for the United States, which as of this moment, as far as altcoins are concerned, we're talking Ethereum, which was a 2-hour later announcement kind of thing, which is kind of funny. But Ethereum, Solana, Cardano, and XRP. If you're at my channel a lot of the time, you know that I'm not a fan of a couple of those, just not. And but again, come on, tune in tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, and you can listen to me, BC Port Corp, really tear it up. And I'm sure Bedell might have a couple of opinions to add into that as well. All right, so it looks like maybe we got awesome. I appreciate that. Jesse says he'll be there. And yes, put the reminder in your calendar. The link is in the description, but thank you, Jesse, for putting that into the live chat. And oh my goodness, here we go. Everything is freezing up on me again. I had this issue this morning. I was kind of hoping I was over it, but I guess not. Let me refresh here real quick. I really hope that that's not going to keep happening for this entire stream. Oh God, it was an annoyance this morning, and especially where Trade Intuition, for those of you who watched my stream a couple hours ago, normally it's me and him Mondays, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We talk the markets, we talk fear and greed. Yes, it's the major. I blamed you this morning, Joe. I really did. I was like, man, he sent his gremlins through the internet to be messing with me right now. Yeah, it is for real though. It probably is. But all right. So let me let's see. I'm going to refresh and see. It doesn't look like they're live yet, so we'll keep an eye on that. But like I said, make sure you vote. We're going to see if crypto is going to be part of this announcement that he's going to make today. That's scheduled to start in about 4 minutes. So we'll see how we'll go live when that goes live. But other announcements that I've seen so far here is, oops, wait, wrong one. Right here, where President Trump and chip maker Taiwan Semiconductor, and there's the ticker for those who do investments in the market, are expected to announce a $100 billion investment in the US. That's per the Wall Street Journal. Oh, that may be part of this announcement. Maybe that was something that was planned. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. I'm sure if that is a legit deal that's going on, that will be included in this announcement that he's going to make, because I'm sorry, that's a actually huge announcement. There are a bunch of things coming out of the White House, and we're with regard to not only crypto but other investments and things going on, savings with Doge, et cetera, et cetera. But I'll tell you what, one thing's for sure, it is wild, wild, wild times going on right now in this space, and I love it. Again, still, we're waiting for the president to go live. So as soon as he does, we'll bounce over there, and Joe should be joining us in a few minutes. I can't wait for him to get on here. Appreciate Joe. And just to reiterate, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern time, myself, Bedell, and BC Port Corp live to talk about the strategic crypto announcement from Trump. Definitely got some strong opinions about that. And so make sure you're joining us for that live stream. Also, don't forget, there is going to be, and I wanted to cover this live, but unfortunately, I couldn't rearrange my schedule for Friday. Friday, the White House is hosting a crypto summit. We've seen the crypto czar, David Sachs, putting out a lot of information as we're getting closer to that with regard to this, which also adds to why I believe there may be crypto as part of this announcement today. Again, I'm shooting from the hip here like everybody else. Do I know for sure? Of course not. I'm not in that loop. I'm definitely not in that loop. But we have a bunch of people in this space in that loop. I mean, you've got Charles Hoskinson, obviously in the loop. You got Brian Armstrong from Coinbase, obviously in the loop. Michael Saylor in the loop. And speaking of Michael Saylor, if time permits, I've got a recent interview he did queued up to go through a bunch of different points where they're questioning since the president's announcement about the strategic crypto reserve for the US. And they kind of ask him some good questions on his feelings about that. And, if he expected it was going to be Bitcoin only, et cetera, et cetera. So if we get a chance, again, because right now this is about the announcement for the president, and it still says waiting right now. So let me just get that. Yep, still waiting. I refreshed it, looking still like we're waiting for that to come on in. Wait, I hear something. Is that Joe? It's Joe.
What's going on,
Welcome,
guys?
my friend. Appreciate you getting here, man.
Man, today was a busy day. Busy.
I'll tell you.
So hopefully we can watch this together and give our views.
I'm excited about that. Appreciate you joining in. Mike is in the house. Appreciate you being here, Mike, as always. Appreciate it. And there you go. See, everybody appreciates when Joe chimes in. They missed you this morning, but they were stuck with me.
I was running. I was like, oh, I'll make it there in time. And I texted you earlier too. It's like, yeah, I'll make it there in time. I doubt I'll be late. I'll make it there. Sure enough, it was not happening.
Well, that's okay. They missed you. I got to tell you, and quite frankly, so did I. But it was not fun checking out the U.S. debt by myself. Just saying.
Right, right.
Oh yeah, there it is. Bingo and a bango for
Bingo,
Joe.
bingo.
Yes, that's right. Put hey, listen, if you're not already following Joe, I know we got a bunch of people in the stream right now, and if you're new, make sure you're smashing up that like button. Make sure you subscribe, and links to Joe's channel in the description of this stream, and quite frankly, every stream. So make sure you're following him if you're not already. Joe, do you want to give everybody a rundown as to your channel while I keep checking to make sure he's not live?
Yeah. So basically, on my channel, Trade Intuition, I show you how to trade. But I mean, everybody shows you how to trade, but I show you in the most simplistic form. Like I literally get all the complicated words and terms, and whether they're saying market structure, breakup structure, change of character, swing failure pattern. I just break it down to if it breaks this high, then I have a little saying, breaks the high you buy, breaks the low you go. So it's
Yes.
literally that's how we look at it. And instead of, oh, well, this is a swing failure pattern, it's okay, well, what's that? So what I do, I get all the complicated stuff, the Elliott wave theory, and the I mean, there's so many different things. You have the Wyckoff theory. Like instead of doing all that stuff, highs and lows, and then that's pretty much it. But now, of course, you do have to see what trend you're in, but like it does not have to be as difficult as we make it. It really doesn't. And with all these, especially with all these indicators, man, I have some people that have like 15, 20 indicators and they're confused. I was like, dude, like take all that away and this, what would you do? Well, I'd buy because it, okay. Like you don't need, so that's basically what I do. I show you that, you can strip away all that stuff and still trade. Now, if you know the other stuff, Excel charts and everything else, great. That's more, your tools are just that much sharper, but it can also confuse you because now you have all these tools like, which one do I use? These are saying yes and these are saying no. What do I do? So what I do is I just simplify everything. And sometimes if you just have 3 or 4 tools, they can be way better, or you can be more effective than having 200 tools. Because now
Amen to
you're,
that.
which one do I use? So
That's the
that's what I
truth.
do.
And here's the times that Joe is generally live. Again, today was a an oddity. Normally on a Monday, we start off on my side, we go over to Joe's side, and let him do his thing. But Joe, I'm hoping that this thing is over pretty soon because he's also on Piper Academy Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern time. So
Yeah, I'm
yeah.
gonna end up doing a show um, on my channel at 3. So I might dip out
Oh,
of
okay.
here if it's not. So I'll probably do mine at 3. Today's just been crazy. um, just, and I was putting everything off to the last day. I was doing all my appointments. I was like, yeah, I just doing. And then sure enough, the first one lasted longer. So then when I went to the second one, it's like domino effect. And then so
Oh yeah.
here, yeah, I'll do this one, then I'll do my stream at 3, then I'll do Piper's at 4, and then just take it from there. Yeah.
Hey, that once you get behind, it is so tough to catch up. It just
Mm-hmm.
absolutely is. And I that's why I like getting up early enough in the morning, so give myself a little bit of like that buffer just in case,
Right.
the gremlins come and attack my live stream. They were all over my live stream this morning, let me tell you. I had to reset myself. I don't remember how many times. It was crazy. I did
Yeah.
blame you.
I was trying to catch it, but I was on my phone, and I was like, is my internet not going good? And then you would say, got to reset. Like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yep. And already once right now, the good news is now you are here. So while I'm busy resetting stuff, you can keep talking. So while I'm on the screen there.
Right, right.
All right. I just so everybody knows, I am double checking, and I actually did bring up Fox News too to make sure that I didn't miss the event start in case there was an issue with one of the others. And no, they're still saying waiting for it to begin. So just so everybody knows, still waiting on this event to begin. Hey, Joe, did you see the recent interview um, on CNBC with Michael Saylor talking about the announcement of the strategic crypto reserve at this point?
No.
Well, I brought it up because I was hoping we might be able to get to it. So maybe, how about if we watch a little bit of that, and then as soon if he goes live in between that, we'll jump in. But then I thought maybe you and I could talk about what he's saying.
Yeah,
Sound good?
definitely. That sounds
All
great.
right. All right. Let me queue up Michael Saylor here. All right. And there we go. Right. Did it come up correctly? Yes, it did. All right. We'll start it off. And like I said, everybody, as soon as the event starts, as soon as Trump goes live, we will cut right over there and obviously watch that. So, but this was the recent interview, Michael Saylor on CNBC.
Yes, is one of Wall Street's most vocal Bitcoin bulls, recently meeting with members of the House Financial Services Committee to discuss what he calls his digital assets framework to help the U.S. become the global crypto leader. Joining us now in a CNBC exclusive is Strategy co-founder, executive chairman Michael Saylor. Strategy announcing this weekend it delivered a Bitcoin gain of $2.6 billion so far this year. Michael, it's paid to keep buying no matter what. My question is, how much are you involved? Because I know you've met with members of the Trump administration, cabinet, family members, I think the president himself. So are you involved in advising around this strategic crypto reserve?
I've met with a bunch of senators on the Democratic and the Republican side, a bunch of Congress people, a few members of cabinet, a few members of the administration, and anybody that wants to talk. You know me, for the last 4.5 years, I'm willing to talk about Bitcoin to anybody, anywhere in the world, every day.
Yes, and we appreciate that, talking to our audience about it. So were you surprised that in the announcement over the weekend, the president mentioned other smaller coins like XRP, Solana, and Cardano, as well as Bitcoin for the strategic crypto fund?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I think there's no way to interpret this other than this is bullish for Bitcoin and is bullish for the entire U.S. crypto industry. You know, there are conservatives that view the right path forward is just a Bitcoin only policy because Bitcoin is a
We've talked about
commodity, an
that.
asset without an issue or a neutral asset, and there's no controversy. But the president's adopted a more liberal economic policy, and that's his right. He's president of the United States.
Okay, I want to pause it there for a second, Joe, so we can have a quick chat about that. Now, I get it. He says all the right things there. He does say all the right things, but you can hear it in his voice, in my opinion, that he ain't happy that it's not just a Bitcoin only reserve. Am I hearing something you're not hearing there?
Yeah. I agree, but I do think that he was very genuine when he said that it's good for the whole crypto space, but it would have been better if it was only Bitcoin, because then it's like this is what everybody needs to go to. But now since there's like an umbrella, they can pick and choose versus
Yes.
only Bitcoin, and they're making him
Yes.
like crazy ultra mega rich more.
Yep. I have concerns. And again, I don't know if you heard me earlier, Joe, I'm doing an entire live stream tomorrow night, 6 p.m. again with BC Port Corp and Bedell. And we're going to hash this out because I think you know that both BC and I have some pointed opinions with regard to stuff like, Ethereum, XRP, and Solana. So I don't want to start hashing out that live stream here, but I don't know. I hear some disappointment in his voice, and I get it. And especially for those, I mean, Bitcoin's the big daddy in the space, and we got a lot of maxis and that kind of thing, and those people were very heavily, Trump, throughout the election cycle, especially as he took a more pro crypto stance. So, but I do personally have reservations with it. And guys, I am still checking, still not live yet, which is why I was almost going to go live at the same time as they were scheduled to go live, just because I know that this kind of stuff gets like delayed. But I promise we will head over live. But let's listen in, because this next question that she asks Sailor, I thought was a very good question. Oops, if I can get it to work.
Yeah, no, I'm sure you would have preferred it though if it was a Bitcoin only fund.
Yeah, of course he did.
You know, I believe that the best thing for the country is to move forward with an enlightened, progressive policy toward digital assets. I think it's worth $100 trillion to the United States, and ultimately, there's four different assets that people need to come to grips with: a digital commodity like Bitcoin, an asset without an issuer, backed by digital power; a digital currency like a stable coin, backed by a fiat currency equivalent; a digital security, an asset with an issuer backed by a stock or a bond, so we can tokenize Wall Street; and then a digital token, which is an asset with an issuer that's backed by digital utility. I think everybody's trying to come to grips with that taxonomy, and as the market gets more educated, we're going to see more progressive, constructive policy engagement.
But as it relates to the crypto.
Okay. Again, for our 2 cents here, it goes to what you were saying with, where he's promoting. Yes, it's good for the U.S. and it's good for the U.S. as a whole. Hell, it's good for the world as a whole. Let's be honest. But I like the way he broke down the different type of asset classes here, or we should expect to see in the space, and as the space expands. Do you think he missed anything, Joe? I mean, I think he was pretty.
My question would be, how long do you think it will take for the expansion from what he's talking about? Like, not expansion for me. Like, how long do you think that it would take, due to all these coins that are in the reserve now? How long do you think that it'll take for it to be kind of looked at like Bitcoin, or will they ever be looked at like Bitcoin? Because right now Bitcoin is like the granddaddy. Everybody's looking at it. All these large institutions are only in Bitcoin, but now that these are in the National Reserve, or the reserve as well, do you think that these institutions will also look not so much at Bitcoin, but now they're kind of diversified?
That's a legit question, Joe. That's legit right there. My thought process is we're not even going to see a designation. Well, I don't know, designation is the right word, but see that play out until we get some kind of framework. I think the first framework we're going to see is in the stable coin arena. That's what I was mentioning this morning, which gives me concern, and maybe a whole different live stream with regard to how we got to watch that framework as it gets rolled out to the world, and definitely to the U.S. But to get your overarching question, my opinion is I think the average person, the average U.S. citizen, will probably end up looking at all of these other cryptocurrencies the same as Bitcoin. That's my opinion. Those who take the time to get involved in the space, or for those of us who have been in the space, I think that it is going to be just the opposite of that. I think there's the potential to even further divide it, the space a little bit, because Bitcoin gonna Bitcoin. It's the way they kind of look at it. So I think that it's going to be a two-tier kind of thing. And guys, I am still checking. They're obviously still not live. Nothing like being late. Listen, casually late. That's one thing. Oh man. All right. I'm gonna bring this back up, and we'll listen to a little bit more of this. The whole thing is like 8 minutes long, but I'm purposely breaking it into pieces so we can stay on top of things here. And not for nothing, I like giving out my opinion on shit. Just saying.
I really do like that too. Watching some of the video, then kind of breaking it up, doing your 2 cents, your opinion, and then I like it too.
Yeah, exactly. You got to do well. I mean, if you're gonna, people need to hear it. If you're going to be in the space, you need to hear multiple people's opinions. And Joe and I may be similar in our opinions, but like we don't think through it the same way. So it's good
Right.
to understand, all of the different options and people's thought process. All right, let's give Michael his thought process.
Joe Fund. I guess, one thing people are going to try to figure out, and what the White House is going to have to explain, is why we need that. I get that you think the price of Bitcoin is going up sharply, and you've definitely put your money where your mouth is, but it is
That's
still
true.
a speculative asset. So is it just about investment gains for the U.S. government, or is there another strategic reason, say like oil, we have that, where we would need this?
The key to keep in mind is that Bitcoin is not competing with the dollar. It's competing with international real estate, global equities, expensive money managers on Wall Street, and any long range investment that somebody makes. And so right now we're about $2 trillion in Bitcoin. It's going to 20 trillion, then it's going to 200 trillion, then it's growing 20% a year. And that capital is coming from overseas. It's coming from China, from Russia, from Europe, from Africa, from Asia, from the 20th century to the 21st century. So what's compelling about it is if the United States takes a position in the emerging crypto economy, if it buys up 10, 20% of the Bitcoin network, we're going to pay off the national debt. And so why wouldn't that be in the interest of the United States?
I guess the question would be, we're dealing with instruments that historically, Michael, have had drawdowns of, you name it, I mean, 20, 40, 50%. How much risk, or what would that do to sentiment if, in fact, that was a paper loss, even momentarily, for the government?
I don't think anybody's ever lost money in the Bitcoin network holding 4 years.
Notice how he
The
focuses
United
just on
States' best
Bitcoin.
investments are
Right.
Alaska, Mexico, California, and Louisiana. And Manhattan. We're still holding them hundreds of years later. It's a nation state. So presumably you want to buy Bitcoin, you want to hold it for 100 years. You know where the future's going. The AIs, the foreigners, the Europeans, the 20th century capitalists, they're all going to cyberspace. And so the United States has the ability to buy this for a nickel and pay off the national debt. It'll be the greatest economic program of the 21st century for this country.
How do you think it gets funded?
Okay, I'm going to hold off on that. Sorry,
I mean,
I let that slide a little bit because I'm getting all kinds of alerts about him being live, but I'm checking and he's not live. Not in any. I've got a couple of tabs open and I can't find him live anywhere. So we'll keep going on here with us for the time being. I mean, I like his analogy, how he's thinking long term with regard to he likens it to, I'm not sure if he did it in this one, but as he goes on, he likens it to getting Alaska, how we bought Alaska for cheap, California, Manhattan, etc. Because again, stuff we're still holding, I'm using my air quotes there, but have been integrated into these United States. So I like that integration, but he very eloquently avoided the actual question and spoke specifically about Bitcoin and didn't really hit the question of, yeah, okay, but then you got one of these things that are like, dropping 90%, when an altcoin dropping 90%, that's going to affect the US and the strategic reserve. I mean, Joe, please chime in there so everybody's not just listening to me babble on.
Yeah, I'm doing like 20 different things, but no, I agree. I agree completely. Now, I do have a question though,
Yeah.
regarding the first, of course, the markets, and I'm going more towards like the actual market itself. The markets weren't looking good. We're doing lower highs, lower lows. Everything's looking pretty grim. And then the announcement, which was on a Sunday, took everybody. I think that took everybody off guard. It being on a Sunday, all days, and then announcing the coins for the reserve. Then of course we have this nice run up. Right now, of course, we're having the nice pullback, and it's pulling back pretty decently. And
yes,
my question to everybody, based off of what, if Trump mentions crypto, do you think it's going to go up? Or if he
Good
doesn't
question.
mention crypto, do you think it's still going to go up just because he was there talking? I hope it does go up, but if it goes down, this is good. I'm really interested to see what y'all think. Now, I hope he does talk about crypto, so we can start making higher highs and higher lows versus what we've been doing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. And yes, I mentioned that. That's funny you say that. I that was something I talked about during our stream this morning, where I was mentioning I thought it was very intelligent of him to do it on a weekend, because these entities who have Bitcoin ETFs, et cetera, guess what? They're Monday through Friday. They aren't trading right now. So the us, the you and I's, and all these other people who can access the cryptocurrency market 24/7 had an opportunity to jump in. Now, again, I'm not telling anybody to FOMO, not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy interwebs. But I thought that was genius on his part if that was done intentionally. And I'm gonna guess, given the people he has around him, that was probably done intentionally. Do you agree? You see intentionality in that, right?
Right. No, yeah, the
Okay.
people around him, they're doing. So if anything is done to where it's like, oh well, he probably didn't know. No, the people around him, they know. The people around, like, he doesn't know,
Yes.
but the people around him are very smart, and if not, they can get somebody, because they have the power to get somebody who is very smart and knowledgeable in whatever field they're looking at. And then of course, well, they just have Trump sign off on it and endorse it or whatever he's going to do, talk about it, and then there you go. But everything is intentional, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. I want to just jump into the chat real quick. And first off, yes, you're probably right about that. Unless he's getting that big, he's still not. He's still not ready. I just double checked both of those feeds, and they are still not live with him. So, but I thought that was funny. Well, he was working at McDonald's, so he had to serve all those Big Macs. But anyway, and now BC Strings one. So welcome. First off, appreciate you being here. Says, what about Pi Network? This is massive. Needs to be on the list. Well, Joe, I'm going to let you put your 2 cents in, obviously, with regard to that, because I know you've been looking at Pi as people have been asking for breakdowns on that on your channel and stuff. Listen, I disagree. Pi doesn't have any reason or right to be there, as far as I'm concerned. Frankly, neither does Solana, neither does XRP, but let's not get me going about those. That's my opinion. Again, financial advice. You ask a question, you get my opinion. I don't think that we need to start delving into this stuff to put these kind of things into the crypto reserve. Joe, your turn.
Okay. Let's see here. So, what about Pi Network Coin? This massive needs to be on the list. What list? The naughty list, because that's the only list I can think of.
Yeah.
It,
Okay.
it took a long time for it to get on exchange, a very long time, multiple years. Had a bunch of empty promises as far as mainnet and everything else throughout. So many times that they've done that. Finally, when it did get listed, the price went up. Well, it sold off, but then it held its own, and then it went up, which was extremely surprising to me because I thought it was going to dump to like less than a penny. So in that sense, very, very surprised. Now, price continued to go up, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, like this maybe this coin is strong. Granted, I didn't buy any. I didn't recommend it or anything like that. I don't believe I did. Then about a week later, I go in and check on it because everybody keeps on asking about it. A week later, I go and check on it,
Yep.
and man, that sucker came down hard. Now, in my opinion, should it be on the list only because you hold it? No. For me, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make you money. Plain and simple. People love me for that. People hate me for that. For me, I don't care if you love me or hate me. My goal is to make you money. If you're cool with that, great. If you're not, if you're very sensitive and you have pink hair, blue hair, whatever it is, that's fine. I understand. Kamala might come back. I don't know, but I'm getting way off track. But
yes, way off track.
Just to let you know, guys, in reference to the Pike, a network coin, no, I don't believe it should be. Just because, you own it doesn't mean it should be on the list. I own coins. How about VRA? Put VRA on the list. Why? Because I hold it. I hold a lot of it. So, yeah.
I'm bringing up another comment. Now, there was some back and forth, obviously, talk going on that in the chat, but to bring it completely around, BC Strings here is saying yes, you need, because they were talking KYC and all this other stuff with regard to Pi Network, and I get it. He's saying there's 70+ million people involved, that this project isn't a joke. Okay, great, but it isn't ready. Just like these other projects aren't ready to be part of the crypto reserve. Sorry, just not. This thing has not proved itself one iota. And I remember it from back in the day. I 2017-ish, or 2018. I can't remember. But it sounded good. Yes, rah, rah, sis, boom, ba, all that bull. And then what happened? It basically died off while they were still doing what they were doing in the background. Good for them. But at the end of the day, okay, 70 million people, because it's in the top, 50 now, because of the move that it's made. I don't even know if it's still in the top 50. I'm just throwing that out there. But I appreciate what you're saying, but it is not mature enough. It is not a mature enough project to be in a strategic reserve. Again, my opinion. Joe, if you wanted to add anything to that, by all means. If not, I'll clip along here.
No, I'm good. But again, just because you hold it doesn't mean it should be in the reserve. It could be like Mike, VRA. Like, put VRA in there. Why? Because it's changing the world. And blah, blah. No, it's Bitcoin. Yes, definitely. Then of course you have some other coins, but just because you hold it doesn't mean.
Yeah, and he's and again he's saying, "Come on, guys, the money's strong. $11 billion market cap. That's peanuts in this space. Peanuts. I get it. Again, my opinion, completely just my opinion, but not mature enough yet. Now, does that mean it should never be? Hell no. Who the hell am I? You know what I mean? And it was something in the when I had that live stream with BC and Badell, and we were talking Bitcoin reserve versus strategic crypto reserve. And I don't have that link in here. I'm sorry. Or actually, I think I do. That link might be in this in the description. That was one of the things we were talking about. The idea of what will be in that reserve will change over time. So could this end up there eventually? Could Pi end up there eventually? Sure, it's possible, but right now, I don't think so. Again, my humble opinion, although all knows I'm not necessarily always humble. Ha! I'm checking again, guys, right now to see, and I can't believe this guy is running this late. Holy moly, Joe! I don't know.
Yeah.
The way he's going, I know it's like you're going to end up having to leave for Piper Network, but before this guy even gets on stage here, man.
But in reference to the Pi Network deal,
yeah.
Could we be wrong? Sure, 100%. We can tell right away you're a fanboy. We can. I know I can. We can tell. I can tell right away you're a huge fanboy of Pi. They can never do anything wrong. Any little microscopic thing that they do great, you're gonna hype it up. You're gonna go all these chats. You're gonna do, and you're gonna hype, and that's good. That's what they need. They need more engagement. So what you're doing is good. But I can tell right away, fanboy. Nothing wrong with that. But for me, I love VRA.
We all have our favorite projects, man.
Yeah, I love VRA for what
we
it
all
does
do.
and everything like that. But you know, if somebody gives their opinion, I don't say, "Well, you're wrong." You must. Well, that's your opinion. It's my opinion, and I think I'm right. You know, and you can think you're right, but yeah, your comments scream fanboy, and it's okay. It's okay. We've all been there. But for me, I like
Amen.
VRA. You know, and the only reason I like it is because I hold so much of it, and it didn't do anything. It didn't do anything last time. I mean, it went up, but I held it. So now I'm waiting for it to go up again. And hopefully you make a crap load of money with Pi.
Yeah,
Hopefully you make
amen.
a crap load of money. Hopefully you've been mining it for forever, and hopefully you're selling. Like I recommend sell, make a lot of money, then buy back when it gets. And prices go up, prices go down. Right now it's down. Now if you want, you can buy. Right now, for a safer entry would be just waiting a little bit longer until it breaks a high. But it's just the thing that you don't want to do. You don't want to marry these coins. You want to date them, have your fun with them, and then next. That's what you want to do. I'm
Holy crap! Did we
serious.
just get the crypto on the rocks? What did I miss?
There it is. There it is. But that's what you want to do. Like you want to have your fun with them, and then that's it. Because
Oh
they
man.
will cheat on you. They will want if you put your love, heart, soul, everything into those coins, they will cheat on you. 100%.
Yep.
So
And just to give him his last comments here. Look at the people around the work day in, day out. And what he's saying is, day to day, millions of people. I get it. I understand. But you can say that about Bitcoin. You can say that about Ethereum. You can say that about Solana. You can say that. I get it. I get it. My opinion, it won't sway my opinion if there were, I don't know, 50 million people in there. I don't know. It doesn't matter. The fact is, to me, it is project itself is too immature to be in that position as a strategic reserve asset. My opinion. He is damn man. All right, how many Big Macs did he go get? To quote to quote 100 Air. Oh crap. All right, let's bring Michael Saylor back up. Let's get to this next section. We're actually like 2/3 of the way through that interview with him. And again, if Trump does go live, or not if, when Trump does go live, I will go right on over there. Bell Miner is in the house. Bell Miner, welcome. Appreciate you being here. How many of those people quit mining years ago? Yeah, exactly. And lost access to their wallets. Yes. Yeah. I mean, there's that too. Good point. Because again, like I said, I remember that project back in the day, and it just people just gave up on it, and now it's kind of back. And yeah, exactly. Good point, Bell Miner. Thank you. Appreciate that. Oh, but Jesse, look at Jesse out of nowhere saying, I mine it every day. Good for you, man. Good for you. See, dedicated, determinated right there for Pi Network. Good for you, man. Appreciate that. Love the input. All right, let's get this back here and see. I'm not sure even where we left off anymore. We got off on a tangent right there.
I think that I leave that to the president's working group. They'll eventually decide what they want to do and the scale they want to do it. There are a dozen people on it, the head of the Treasury, the SEC.
Just to stop 1 second. Now I remember. She had asked him how the U.S. was going to fund the reserve, and this is him answering that question.
The CFTC, Commerce, the Attorney General, the President, I'm sure, will opine. Yeah. I'm sure you'll have leadership from Tim Scott and French Hill, both the Republicans and the Democrats. Everybody's going to have their opinions. It's above my pay grade to decide. But what I would say is this. We bought Manhattan for 60 guilders. It was a good trade. We bought Alaska for $6 million. It was a good trade. We paid $40 million for 75% of this country. It's a good trade. We can afford it. We should buy the future.
I mean, and you've done this before, you've talked about this before, but comparing a cryptocurrency digital asset that is still considered highly speculative to American cities and states.
Well, Bitcoin's not highly speculative to the 500 million people in the crypto economy. It's the best performing asset in the past 15 years, and generally the best performing asset every single year. My company's gone from a $250 million investment to almost a $50 billion position in 48 months. So clearly, there's enormous economic energy in this asset. It is probably the most certain thing in the financial universe if you have a long time horizon.
I have another sort of, and
Okay.
this might be
Hang
like
on.
a legal question.
Let me pause
but
that there so we can throw our 2 cents in here. Did I just finish? Yeah, I wanted to recognize LBC in the house. Luna Beach's crypto. Appreciate you being here. In fact, where are you? I don't know. You're here somewhere. There he is, saying a bingo and a bango, of course. Yes. Bingo and a bango for T.I. Joe. And let's see. Jesse saying, yeah, well, there you go, Jesse. That's a decent APY right there. Keep it up. I mean, again, we all have our projects that we're in about here at this point. Yes. Appreciate you, LBC. Thank you, man. Thank you. All right. So, Joe, any thoughts about what he was just saying? I know she kind of tried to hit him on the analogy of, the Alaska thing, the Manhattan thing. And I personally appreciated that analogy. I get it that they're not identical by any shape, form, or fashion. But when you think about it, the premise is the same. Buy low, still holding hundreds of years later. And I think in this next section, he even says that, you hold Bitcoin for 100 years. Yeah, okay. And I'm not saying no, but like, you know what I mean? Any thoughts about that analogy or anything else you want to throw?
Yeah, he actually mentioned the 100 years on I think that was the last segment. But
that was the last one? Oh, I got him backwards. Sorry, guys.
but in reference to just holding it, that's what the wealthy do. They don't, sell. They hold it.
Yes.
And then they use that as a leverage. So you could borrow against your Bitcoin, but you still hold your Bitcoin, but you're borrowing against your Bitcoin. And that essentially is a goal. And that's what he's doing. Like he's borrowing his Bitcoin or loaning his Bitcoin. And how is actually he doing this so I don't mess it up? How is he leveraging what he's doing as far as the Bitcoin goes?
Oh, you're saying that I might mess it up. Matter of fact, you know what? I don't even want to put it out there because I will mess it up, and then people are going to be like roasting me over here.
Because like with me, I'll get it like backwards because I've tried saying before, and it's like, wait, no, it's supposed to be, and then I have to like,
and then somebody corrects me exactly, and that you think that would straighten me out, but not so much.
Yeah, he's doing it, and he's winning, but Crypto Blood, he says that if the Bitcoin comes down, like he's going to get wrecked, big time wrecked. And I mean, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, a lot of people think he's out over his skis about it. Yeah. And LBC, where's my announcement? I don't know. Trump stopped off at McDonald's for a Big Mac, according to 100 Air. I don't know. I'm monitoring, man. I'm monitoring. So as soon as they go live, I will be jumping all over it. I mean, even if I had started on time at the same time as the announcement, knowing that he's always late, look at this. We're like 40 minutes late at this point. It's like, I'm sorry. This is starting to aggravate me myself at this point. So appreciate that. Jesse, yes. What Jesse said. Smash that like. Appreciate you, Jesse. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate that. Let's see what's oh, okay. They're talking about the Pi Network thing. Okay. Gotcha. All right. So we'll take this last section of Michael Saylor and the interview that he did on CNBC, and we'll go hopefully straight over to Trump at that point, but we'll see. Lord knows.
As this becomes more adopted, and if we're talking about a strategic Bitcoin reserve or crypto reserve, how do you prevent insider trading, front running? There's no insider trading laws because they're not securities. So Trump can just, tweet about X coin and someone can front run it.
The reason that there's so much support for a commodity like Bitcoin is it is an asset without an issuer. No entity controls it. No entity runs the network. No entity can change the protocol. No entity has enough power to impact the market trading of that protocol. That's actually why most of the focus is on the digital commodity. And that's what makes Bitcoin special. Satoshi was the insider. He left 1 million Bitcoin for all of humanity forever and walked away without ever benefiting. And that's what makes Bitcoin special.
Do you think that any other
assets? I gotta stop that, because again, he's focusing on Bitcoin, which I get it. But even with Bitcoin, he said that Bitcoin's too big. Nobody can even influence that market. I call bullshit, because Trump tweets or posts on Truth Social, shit moves. It's that simple, and Bitcoin is no exception. Again, wait, let me put it up here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, old guy with some sharp opinions about this situation. Joe, go ahead, brother.
I agree 100%. It can be manipulated, and we've seen it time and time again. And that's why we're waiting to see if Trump says something about crypto, it's going to influence Bitcoin. That's what we're looking. We're looking for that bounce. So I mean, it's very manipulated. Now, granted, even though the manipulation happens year after year, if you just held the Bitcoin, you're going to do good. Much better than putting in a savings account by far. Yeah.
Yep. And now taking that to the other ones. So, like, what did he announce first? He announced Sol, he announced ADA, and he announced XRP. Then, like 2 hours later, he said BTC and ETH. Again, this is a conversation I know we're going to be having tomorrow night. So make sure you join me at 6 p.m. tomorrow night. But because he mentioned it here, we need to get into that. I'm sorry. He's calling winners right there. My opinion, don't like it. Tough shit. That's the way it is. Joe, go ahead. Tell me I'm an idiot.
I think he was getting a lot of heat. Like, what about XRP? What about Bitcoin? What's going on? And then so he came, and of course, Bitcoin and Ethereum. I love those two. So I think he was just getting heat. But
I agree.
You would think that those are like, yeah, those are his the big foundation. Bitcoin and Ethereum. But when he put it out, he didn't name those. So I'm sure.
Yeah,
he thought it was
2 hours later. Yeah. Well, and I get, to some degree, I get the duh, kind of factor to that. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, when you're dealing with the government, there's no such thing as the duh factor, in my opinion, and especially in this particular case, because here you go, you've got a president who's involved in this space now. I get it, pro this space, but like launched his own meme coin, wife's meme coin, etc., etc. This is a completely different level,
big time,
than any administration prior. Completely different level. And I mentioned it this morning. Because of that, we have the Meme Act, and I can't remember what the hell that stands for. That's now being put out in Congress. That would eliminate this from happening in the future.
And what was it again? You start breaking up.
Oh, sorry. The Meme Act. I put it out in our live stream this morning. Basically, Congress putting a bill out there to try and eliminate this from happening in the future. And I can't remember what meme stands for in their thing.
Right.
So I apologize. But go check out this morning's live stream, everybody. The TLDR about it is that basically they want to try and eliminate presidents, their families, executives, blah 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 blah.
Anybody with large influence.
Yeah, from ever being able to do that kind of thing again.
And I agree, 100%. I agree. To include entertainers, whether they're in the music industry or the movie industry, because again, they have a lot of influence. And because of that, it's going to be a pump and dump. You want something that has a less likelihood of being a pump and dump. Now, granted, there will be many pump and dumps, but if you have, and now it's just really bad, having presidents doing that is like, ooh, that's not good. And they're already millionaires. Why do they want more money?
Yep, I agree. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, that would make sense for the help me. Securities, stuff like that. But then if that's what you're saying, then you're saying these are securities, right? I mean, I don't know. My opinion. Let's see. What do we got? Yes, the meme bill. That's the one I'm talking about. 100 air thing. There's a name for what the meme stands for. That doesn't mean the way we use the word meme. And like I said, if you go back to this morning,
hard right now. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah.
No. Well, then take over, Joe. I'll reset again. Go ahead. Take over.
Well, I just like OP is dumping pretty hard. Cardano, just because of that pump, it's dumping pretty hard. We have Polygon Matic, which is now Polygon Ecosystem, POL. That one's dumping pretty hard. We have Bera. That one's dumping pretty hard. We have, and just to give you like a percentage, the dump is roughly about 16%, but that one's dumping pretty hard. We have XRP. That one, the dump is roughly around 18-19%. We have BNB, roughly dumping about 9%, so it's not too bad. We are currently in this trade. The VIP group, we're in this trade. Right now, we just hit our lower entry. We're looking for a bounce. So Bitcoin right now from, let's call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 5-6 hours ago, it's come down almost 8%. And we really need Trump to start talking. Pump up.
I know, right? I just can't even listen. I'm gonna go through some of the comments because these guys are going fast and furious here on, and I love it. I love the interaction. Thank you to everybody. Appreciate that. And yeah, 100 air, truer words right here. Truer words. Congress needs to stop that insider trading bullshit that they've got going on. It needs to end. And you're right.
It's criminal.
I get it.
It's criminal doing
for
that.
anybody else. For anybody else, unless you're in Congress.
Else, federal prison.
Yep. Poor Martha Stewart. It's just yeah. Anyway, and well, wait a minute. I'm trying to fix this. What happened? Then 100 air saying Junior told him not to forget about BTC and ETH for the pump. Yeah, maybe, and then say it later so they'll all pump up after that, perhaps. But we're facing the kneecap recovery right now, as Joe's just threw out there, with shit starting to drop everywhere. But you know what, 100 air, you might be right. Maybe that was a purposeful thing. It really might have been. He's asking, what did I miss? Nothing. Trump still ain't gone live yet, man. We're still talking about Michael Saylor and handling. Oh, wait. It looks like we might be going live. He's not there yet, but at least the screen is ready. So let me get that up here. Hang on 1 second so we can just sit it in the background and watch it. This tab instead is it broadcast. Why is it not broadcasting? There we go. So we can keep chatting here while we're waiting for him to show up. But as you can see, they've at least gone live. Oh, here we go.
Audio check 1 2 3. Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
Really? Don't you think you would have done that before you went live?
Because
Buck in the house. Swifty coin. There you go. And yes, LBC, it looks like the presser is about to start here. I mentioned as I started going live that I'm expecting they're going to talk about that semiconductor deal that the White House has been throwing information about out there. So let's hope that that's just a piece, and that crypto is also a piece here. And yes, mic check. Again, you think that would have been done beforehand there? Yes, exactly. Like, hell yeah, mic check. Gonna start busting. Do it. All right. We're gonna obviously hang here and see if we can't watch this whole thing. Can I make this? How about that? Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Oh man, come on, Trump, you're killing me, Smalls. All right, everybody in the chat, where's that line come from? You're killing me, Smalls. There's always somebody there that knows it. Go ahead. What movie? And thank you to everybody who's watching. We got a bunch of people watching. Over 90 people. Appreciate you. That's not even counting X at this point, I don't think. Oh no, that is counting X. Matter of fact, our lion's share of people are on X. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Don't forget, smash that like. Appreciate it. Share it.
Yeah, it's definitely a special. Like right now, Bitcoin is at 86.8 right now.
Wow, that's a big down. That's a big down. Yep. And yes, Buck was first. Sandlot, correct. Bellminer got it. Yes, exactly. Sandlot. Yeah. Oh, Dynamite in the house. Welcome. And yes, you got that correct. Yes, that was a great movie, wasn't it? That was a good movie. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Say, okay, I don't feel quite so old when other people come up with the answer.
I had to look on the History Channel. I was like, oh, I know it.
Yeah. Oh, man. And LBC is saying it's only a 50% retracement from the low as of now. Sorry, I'm still getting all kinds of alerts going on here, but he's still not here chatting, so stop alerting me. It's like, holy crap. My phones are just everywhere. Crazy. Yes. Thank you, Jesse. Appreciate you. Smash that like. Appreciate that. Guys, I really appreciate it. It really does help trying to keep growing this channel, so I appreciate that. And yeah, if it's crypto, I'm going to try and cover it here. And I got a bunch of good people who help me out all the time. This guy right here, always here. And again, if you're not already following Joe Trade Intuition, link is in the description. As always, on all my videos, all my live streams, go ahead and follow this guy. The guy is literally live 7 days a week, multiple times a day. I mean, good God. I don't know. I keep saying I don't know when he sleeps. I really think he's like vampire-esque here. He doesn't sleep. The guy is just always out there. I've messaged this guy at all hours, and be damned if he don't reply to me in like 10 minutes or something. Doesn't matter what time of the day. It's crazy. Nothing but props for you, Joe. Nothing but props.
Yeah, it's funny. I'll get people to tell me that they must be like at 3 a.m. and like 3:02 they got a response. You know, if I'm not doing a video for my group or doing a video for a question that's being asked or whatever, like right here is my Telegram, and so whenever I see it, like, oh, let me go here. I mean, I'm always in the charts too.
Yep.
But yeah, I love it.
He ain't lying. Unless, of course, he falls asleep and forgets about crypto on the rocks. But that's a whole nother issue.
Dude, that day, I actually start nodding off at my desk. I'm doing this number. It's like, whoa. And then I'm also trying to chart. I was like, how come my line's not going? Like my brain's telling it, but my hand, the motor skills were going. I was like, oh, I need to go lay down. I said, I'll just lay down for an hour. And 2.5 hours later, it's like, dude, I'm coming back. Or I think there was one where I was late, and another one where it's like, I'm just gonna go to bed. I was in a trade.
That's what you did. Yeah, that's the one I was thinking of.
I was in a trade, and I said, if I'm up, I'm gonna do the live stream. If I'm down, I'm just gonna go back to bed. I checked I checked my trade. I was up. I was like, I'm still gonna go to bed. So I was like, let me just. Oh man, I was beat. I was so beat. But
I hear you. I can't. Gee, I don't know why, Joe. And for those who are new here, listen. Every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. Joe is one of the staples that's always there. Bedell is always there. Matter of fact, BC Port Corp said he's going to be there this Friday night, so
Really?
watch for that. Yes, he messaged me, said he'll be there Friday. So I'm like
Awesome.
stoked about that. Yes, absolutely awesome. Listen, we get together, we have a casual conversation, we break out a couple of drinks, have a drink or two, or if people in the live chat are giving us cheers all the time,
Cheers,
some of us,
cheers,
yeah,
cheers.
yeah, we may have to get carried off the screen. But anyway, listen, you can bring whatever drink you want. You don't have to make it alcoholic at all. But 7 p.m. Eastern time every Friday night. It's like just hanging out with your friends, shooting the shit about, and I'd like to say crypto, but Joe, do we always stick to crypto?
No, we go over everything. Crypto, the economy, just personal life stuff. And I tell everybody too, and you've mentioned it too, but I say it like a couple of guys and girls at a campfire,
That's true.
kicking up our feet on the rocks, and there's the fire, and we're just kicking back. We're just telling our stories.
Yeah, it's meant to be casual. It's meant to be a good time, have a laugh. That's what it's meant to be. And if we know you, we'll bring you on. We tried to bring prior other people on. What? First Lady is now live on C-SPAN.
I'm watching CNBC, and I don't see nothing.
Yeah, I've got right here. What we're watching right here is Fox, and the other Sky is Sky News going, and it's still saying going to begin shortly. It's not even clicking over at this point. Joe, can you check out that C-SPAN thing to see if it's? I gotta assume it has nothing to do with this. It's probably something else they go on. Thank you for letting us know that, Warpaint. Appreciate that. And I like this Warpaint saying, "Yeah, Baron with hat." Yeah, that's part of the strategic reserve. I love it. I love it. I love it. And Jesse, listen, I love you, brother, but yeah, we ain't starting that yet. I appreciate that. But yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Somebody will say, throw a cheers in the chat, and the next thing you know, I'm through 6 beers in like the first hour. But then, okay. Saying what the C-SPAN is not crypto related. Username in the house, hashtag rib chat. Yes, sir.
What's up?
Yes, sir. Yes, and if you are tuning in with to Joe's channel, listen, username has his own emoji there too. Trading helmet. You want to know how it came to be? Happened on Crypto on the Rocks. I did a quick video about it. Go check it out on my channel. You will love it. It was funny. All right. Let us know what the First Lady is wearing. Okay, 100 Air. Not that she ain't easy on the eyes or anything, but yes, facts. Exactly. Oh my God, this guy is making us wait. He's killing me. Like, he should have finished those Big Macs by now. Oh wait, I hit the wrong one. She's making a stand against deep fake porn. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I was just reading that right now too, from C-SPAN.
Yeah, LBC is saying Trump is almost done with his McDonald's fries. Be patient. Yeah, exactly. You see, it's different now. He's not actually making them and serving them to people like he did in running up to the election. So now he gets to actually eat some.
Man, I haven't had McDonald's in man, I can't even remember how long.
I know. I just
love their fries. Man, I used to love their fries. But I'm pretty sure the burgers have gotten smaller, just like everything else. And I remember getting their shakes. I think I was getting shakes there. They have shakes there, right? Except for the ice cream machine's always down.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sad that, like, you can just mention McDonald's ice cream machine down, and everybody knows what you're talking about.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows. I know it's sad.
It's like,
It
are
really
you
is sad.
cleaning it right now? Because it's like 4 hours before closing, 4 hours, and you're cleaning it right now, so you don't have to clean it later. No, it's not working right now. It's like, yeah, right.
All right. What do we got? Oh my goodness, this chat's moving so fast. Yes, the fries are good. Yes, and that's it. Yeah, well, you know what? And it's so expensive. I bet this going to be a nothing burger. You no pun intended, right? Oh, I got sound effects for that. Damn it. And I forgot all about it. Well, some sound effects. Again, I'm still testing out the whole sound effect thing. And for those who are on Crypto on the Rocks on Friday night, I blew out some eardrums testing it out on Friday. So my apologies. My apologies. And yes, right here, shrinkflation at McDonald's. Absolutely. Because that price is through the roof. My son said he went there the other day. He was out with the kids running around trying to got to eat. Never going to get home in time, make dinner. And he was telling me how much he spent. Oh my God. You can't go to McDonald's and be spending $60 on a meal. That's just, but yet that's what you do.
Yeah.
That's what happens.
I think I got Wendy's a few months ago, and it was like $14. I was like, man, 14. And all it was just a meal. And I don't remember if I got a shake with it or, the frosty thing. I don't remember. But it was like $14. It's like, man, I remember when it was like $8. Like, oh well.
Yep.
It's crazy.
I'm just highlighting some of these so we while we're waiting for Trump to jump in here. Okay. Well, now the other stream has the same shot we do, so okay, we must be getting close. Excuse me. And Jesse saying the McRib is the best burger ever made at McDonald's. Where's the rib? Hashtag rib chat. There you go. I don't know about that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the McRib, but I don't know about the best one ever made. But I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you. And LBC saying the ice cream machine always broken. Facts, man. Facts. Absolute facts right there. Username fries in the 80s were the best. Fried with beef tallow. In the 80s?
Yeah, for me, the 90s. I remember in the 90s. Those, man, every single fry was so delicious. And the last time I had McDonald's, like, I don't know if I got the very end of the bag, but it was nothing but the little ones, and they were really hard. And it was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't complain, though. I just take it. It's like, all right, thanks.
And be done with it. Yeah. I get it. And LBC saying, yeah, they don't want to deal with that shit. Yeah, exactly. That's why the machines are. And it's funny. It's every freaking McDonald's, right? It doesn't matter where in the country you go to McDonald's, the ice cream machine it's done. It's over, man. It's absolutely over. Have you ever dipped fries into a Frosty, though? I have not.
No, I have not.
I mean, I wouldn't mind trying, but yeah, no. Definitely.
I didn't do a Frosty. I've never tried it. I've never been that inebriated before to try it. I'm like, hey, I wonder how this tastes. Oh, that tastes good. I've never done that before. No thanks.
Yeah. Okay. Right here, Jesse. Yes. Yeah. It's kind of like Chinese food, right? Yeah. You gorge on Chinese food, and then you're like hungry again an hour later. Yeah. Same here. You eat that McRib, and then you're hungry again. Oh my goodness. Here we go. We went from our investment announcement with the president of the United States to talking about McDonald's and fast food.
Hey, that's how it goes.
So right here, LBC. Yeah, it is true. Although, again, usually that's a Friday night Crypto on the Rocks, not necessarily a live stream in the middle of the week or beginning of the week. Shoot, I got a large meal double quarter pounder with cheese for under $11 here. What? McRib Bums Crypto. I love it. Yeah, there's the facts. Oh, the camera's moving. Maybe it's almost that time. Yes, do a midnight run to Taco Bell and spend only $5-6. Yeah, even Taco Bell's expensive these days. Facts. Hell, under there. Hell no to the McRib. Oh, that's funny. Oh crap. Trying to. Hey, Chuck Danger in the house. Appreciate you being here, Chuck. The irony is that Ray Kroc, who was the guy who founded the McDonald's name or whatever, he stole the McDonald's name. Oh no, are you kidding me?
Dude, I saw that movie, and McDonald's was done so wrong, so incredible. But you have to be smart. You have to be smart in this. You can't trust anybody. That's what basically comes down to. Like, if you come into a business with your friends or your family or whatever, if they're smarter than you, they're gonna rob you blind. And you can think, oh well, we're friends, we're family, like, you know, we're best friends, we're best. Nah, man. When it comes to money, doesn't matter. But he got a wool pull over his eyes big time. Cheated.
I did not.
Definitely have to watch that movie.
I did not know that.
You have to watch that movie, man. It's
I
a
guess
good
I
one.
do. I guess I do. And then gold is pumping. War paint is saying. Do you have that, Joe? Is it how bad is it pumping?
Right now, I'm actually setting up my live stream for the thing.
So. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, do your thing. I know you got to get that ready. LBC, we. Why I got to be intoxicated to try mixing my different foods? Yeah, I get it, man.
But believe me, if you're that curious, you know, I wonder how these fries would taste. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's more like, oh crap. Hey, that's pretty good. I'm pretty sure it was more like that instead of like, salty and sweet. Let me see how. Now, granted that there are those natural those bars where it has the salty and the sweet in there. Okay, granted, okay, I get, but I can't see somebody doing it on purpose. That's what I'll say.
And here you go. The name's got it. McDowell's, not McDonald's. Yeah, that's the McDonald's. Yeah, that's funny. We all know what movie that's from.
Yes,
that was a good movie. I'm sure somebody's already said it later on in the chat here. I'm just so far behind, it's not even funny. Yes, that's right, because Prince Akeem was there working. Yes, exactly. See, you guys got this. You guys got this. I love it.
Yeah, gold right now is, I think, at 28.86. And I see it going up. It had a nice little retracement.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. You know what? I'm going to close this so I will stop lagging a little bit, and we'll go with this screen right here. And we'll close that to try and take a little bit of the load off. Yes. The Big Mick was legendary. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's funny. That's funny. Oh, come on, Trump.
Trump's killing us. All right, I'm gonna be right back.
I know. Go ahead, do your thing, brother. I get it. And I appreciate everybody being here. Matter of fact, I haven't said in a little while. So while we're still waiting on Trump, if you're new here, we got lots of people watching right now. The lion's share on X. Appreciate you being here. Make sure that follow me on X if you're not already. But smash the like, subscribe, and here comes Trump. So let's let this guy finally do some talking.
Thank you very much. This is a very big day for a lot of reasons, but this gentleman is a very unique man. It's, I think I could say in the world of chips, certainly, but in the world pretty much of business, nobody's done what he's done. Very, for those of you that are into that world, you would say, wow, he's a legend, but he is a legend, and it's an honor to be with you. Very great honor. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Welcoming from TSMC, which is the biggest there is at a level that you can't even calculate, frankly. CC Way to the White House for a very historic announcement. This is a tremendous thing for our country and hopefully for his company. We're also pleased to be joined by Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick and White House AI and SIP, the crypto czar David Sachs, another two very highly respected people. It's great. to have you guys involved. And David, thank you very much for coming on. David is sort of the king of intellect in that world. We have some good people. Today, Taiwan Semiconductor is announcing that they will be investing at least $100 billion in new capital in the United States over the next short period of time to build state of the art semiconductor manufacturing facilities. I think mostly it's going to be in Arizona, which is what I understand, which is a great state. I like it because I won it, but I won most of them actually. So, but I did. We won it, and we won it big. The most powerful AI chips in the world will be made right here in America, and it'll be a big percentage of the chips made by his company. But as you know, they're based mostly in Taiwan, and they're far and away the biggest. There's nobody even close. This $100 billion in new investment will go into building 5 cutting edge fabrication facilities in the great state that we just discussed, Arizona, and will create thousands of jobs, many thousands of jobs, and they're high paying jobs. In total, today's announcement brings Taiwan semiconductor investments to about 165 billion they've started already. Among the largest new foreign direct investments in the United States, Apple, as you know, made a big announcement last week of 500 billion, and we have some others that have announced. We have many that want to announce, but I don't have time to do all of these announcements, I tell you. But for you, I'm doing the announcement. This will create hundreds of billions of dollars in economic activity and boost America's dominance in artificial intelligence and beyond. Semiconductors are the backbone of the 21st century economy, and really, without the semiconductors, there is no economy. Powering everything from AI to automobiles to advanced manufacturing. And we must be able to build the chips and semiconductors that we need right here in American factories with American skill and American labor. And that's exactly what we're doing. As you know, Taiwan pretty much has a monopoly on that market. And I think pretty much is not a term that's even appropriate. They do have a monopoly. And this is a tremendous move by the most powerful company in the world. It's a matter of economic security. It's also a matter of national security for us. And at the same time, Mr. Wei will be able to diversify and have his a tremendous presence in another place and a safe, very safe place. And I want to thank Taiwan Semiconductor for doing the announcement. And I'd like to ask Mr. Wei to say a few words, if you might. And I'd also like to ask Howard and David, you can say a couple of words, but maybe you should go first because right now he's the most important man in the room. I'm sorry, fellas. Please. Thank you very much.
Thank you,
Great
Mr.
honor.
President.
Thank you.
I'm uh, I'm a little bit nervous, so I have to pull out my piece of paper. Uh, Mr. President, Secretary Ragni, and David, I didn't know that your title. But,
Oh, well, you should have done that
okay.
beforehand, guy. Just saying. Sorry.
First, I want to say thank you to Mr. President to give me this opportunity to announce our big project in the U.S. Uh, TSMC is the world's largest chip manufacturing funded by Dr. Morris Chen in 1987. It's now at the forefront of semiconductor technology, supporting AI advancement and industry growth. In fact, I would like to wind back the time that in 2020, we have to thank President Trump's vision and his support. So TSMC start the journey of establishing the advanced chip the manufacturing in Arizona. And now, let me proudly say, now the vision become reality. In Phoenix, Arizona, with 3,000 employees, we are producing the most advanced chip made on US soil. With the success of our first fab, so we are now very happy to announce we are going to invest additional 100 billion US dollar in addition to our current 65 billion US dollars investment in Arizona. We are going to build 3 more new
Candy.
fabs
Oh yeah.
after we promised the 3
Welcome,
fabs
Candy.
already, and another 2 very advanced packaging fab, and most important, R&D center also in Arizona. For this, all the investment, 165 billion, it could create thousands of the high-paid jobs, as the president just announced. And we are, most important, actually, we are going to produce many AI chips. We're going to produce many chips to support the AI progress and to support the smartphones progress. And again, with that, I want to thank President Trump again for his support. In addition, I also want to thank my customers in the US, such as Apple, NVIDIA, AMD, Qualcomm, Broadcom. They all support TSMC's manufacturing in the US. Without their support, we probably cannot make it through. So again, I want to thank them. Also, I'd like to thank the TSMC's employee. Without their effort, we just cannot make it today. That's all I want to say, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Howard, please, David. Sure. Thank you.
So I'm thrilled to be here today because President Trump has made it a fundamental objective to bring semiconductor chip manufacturing home to America. Under the Biden administration, TSMC received a $6 billion grant, and that encouraged them to build $65 billion. So America gave TSMC 10% of the money to build here. And now you're seeing the power of Donald Trump's presidency, because TSMC, the greatest manufacturer of chips in the world, is coming to America with a $100 billion investment. And of course, that is backed by the fact that they can come here because they can avoid paying tariffs. So the idea is come to America, build greatness in America, build for the American customers, the Apple, NVIDIA, that whole list that Chairman Wei gave in order to bring production to America. So we're really, really excited. This continues the most incredible path you've ever seen in these first weeks and months of the Trump administration of incredible manufacturing coming to America. The keys that the president has called out are coming here. They're coming here in huge size because they want to be in the greatest market in the world, and they want to avoid the tariffs that if they're not here, they'd have to suffer. So I want to congratulate CC Wei for bringing in this incredible $100 billion investment, but it's on the shoulders of our president, Donald Trump, which is why he's coming. So thank you.
Thank you. David?
Thank you, sir. Well,
All right,
the
now we
products
get
that
to the good
TSMC
stuff, maybe.
makes are literally the most important products in the world. I mean, these advanced chips power everything. They power AI, they power your phone, they power your cars, and without them, the whole modern economy would stop. But they're not made in the United States. So for TSMC to move here is a huge, huge development, and we owe that to President Trump's leadership on the economy and Secretary Lutnick as well. And CC, thank you for coming here. Thank you.
Thank you, David. So thank you very much. A big percentage of chips with this investment will be made now, a big percentage. Worldwide, we had very little, almost none. We used to have a lot with Intel, but we had very little. And we'll be at close to 40% of the market with this transaction and a couple of others that we're doing. That's a tremendous leap, like a leap that nobody would have really said was possible. So I just want to thank you all for being here. If you want a couple of questions, ideally
So
on this
obviously,
subject,
crypto's
yes,
not
please.
getting mentioned unless it's the questions.
But this is huge, though. And this is one thing that I thought that was going to happen with the tariffs,
but it'll get
where
bigger.
they're not going to get taxed, so they'll move over here and they'll drive our economy up because now they're hiring people here, or they're not having.
Yes.
it's just good, and I'm really happy for this.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's good news.
Well, without the chips and semiconductors, nothing runs today. You can't buy a car without them. You can't get a radio, a television, nothing. You can't get anything. And we thought it was very important, obviously business-wise, but we thought even in terms of national security to have this large percentage of the chips, semiconductors, and other things that they make the most important product, and not a product that you can really copy. It takes years and years. You know, on the needle of a pin is total genius. I mean, they can put things. I mean, something the size of the needle, the point of a pin. They put information that is just not even believable. So if you would see this, it's just really something. Yes,
One aspect to that, Honda announced they're coming to Indiana because of the tariffs. Once again,
That's
you
right.
bring in additional jobs in manufacturing. You want to comment on that as well?
Well, Honda's coming, and I told you about Apple that they're going to be starting to build massively here, 500 billion, and we have many other companies going to be announced, but we had many that have already announced, and now it's going to be great. It's looking really strong. I don't think this country has ever seen anything like we're seeing right now. Now, the tariffs, as you know, it'll start a week earlier than the reciprocal, which is going to be on a couple of weeks earlier. Reciprocal tariffs start on April 2nd. And I wanted to make it April 1st, but I didn't want to I didn't want to go April Fool's Day because that costs a lot of money, but that one day. But so we're going April 2nd. But very importantly, tomorrow tariffs 25% on Canada and 25% on Mexico, and that'll start. So they're going to have a tariff. So what they have to do is build their car plants, frankly, and other things in the United States, in which case they have no tariffs. In other words, you build, and this is exactly what Mr. Wei is doing by building here. Otherwise, they'll build, if they did them in Taiwan to send them here, they'll have 25%
Yeah, Joe's the
or
man.
30%
Joe's
or
the man.
50% or whatever the number may be.
Called that
Someday
straight up.
it'll go only up. But by doing it here, he has no tariff, so he's way ahead of the game. And
Trump
I
is
would
so
just
smart.
say this to people in Canada or Mexico: if they're going to build car plants, the people that are doing them are much better off building here because we have the market. We're the market where they sell the most. And so I think it's going to be very exciting for the automobile companies. Very exciting for, I can think of any, as an example, North Carolina, they had the great, I used to go there to buy furniture for hotels, and it's been wiped out. That business all went to other countries. And now it's all going to come back into North Carolina, the furniture manufacturing business, please.
Mr. President, is the Ukraine minerals deal now dead, or can it be revived? What's your?
Well, I'll let you know. We're making a speech. You probably heard about it tomorrow night, so I'll let you know tomorrow night. But no, I don't think so. I think it's a great deal for us because Biden very, very foolishly, stupidly, frankly, gave
He always calls them out.
$300 billion and 350 billion more accurately to a country to fight and to try and do things. And you know what happened? We get nothing. We get nothing. Just gave it. We could have rebuilt our entire U.S. Navy with 350 billion. Think of it, 350 billion. We could have rebuilt our U.S. Navy. So he gave it away as fast as the money could be gone. And what we're doing is getting that all back and a lot more than that. And what we need,
Assuming they can find it.
for this business that we're talking about here with chips and semiconductors and everything else, we need rare earths. And the deal we have is we have the finest rare earths.
Mr. President, what do you need to see from President Zelensky to restart these negotiations?
Well, I just think he should be more appreciative because this country has stuck with them through thick and thin. We've given them much more than Europe, and Europe should have given more than us because, as you know, that's right there. That's the border. This country really was like the fence on the border. It was very important to Europe, and I'm not knocking Europe. I'm saying that they were a lot smarter than Joe Biden because Joe Biden didn't have a clue. He just gave money hand over fist.
I know some monkeys that were
and
smarter.
They should have been able to equalize.
Oh, sorry. Did I say that out loud?
Or they should have given. Well, we gave 350 billion. They probably gave 100, but on top of it all, they get their money back because they're doing it in the form of a loan, and it's a secured loan. So
it's
when
so
I
crazy
saw that,
what we were doing,
which I've known about for a little while,
and we didn't know any of it.
It's time for us to
we didn't know none of this.
Be smart. At the same time, it's great for them because they get us in the country taking the rare earth, which is going to fuel this big engine, and especially the engine
Super smart.
that we've in a very short time created. And we get something, and we're there. We have a presence there. With all of that being said, I want one thing to happen. I want all of those young people to stop being killed. They're being killed by the
Amen.
thousands every single week. Last week, 2,700 were killed. 2,700 young, in this case, just about all young boys from Ukraine and from
Have you
Russia.
seen what they're doing to
And
Ukraine
that's not young
guys?
people from the
Oh,
United
yeah.
States, but it's on a human
Yeah,
basis.
grabbing them in the
I want
street.
to see it
That is
stop.
sad. That is
The money is
so
one thing,
sad.
but the death, and they're losing thousands of soldiers a week.
And
And that's
Zelensky,
not
he's like,
including the people that
well,
get
I
killed
want
every
this and this
time
and this. No, just
a
do a
town goes
ceasefire
down
right
or a
now,
missile
man. That
goes
way you don't have to
into
be
a town.
abducting all these guys.
And I want to see it stop. Yes.
Yeah, they did a strike last night. Not to get down that whole road. I was listening to it earlier.
Reaction to what the President just said, that your administration is bringing
All right, well, I'm going to go.
US worldview in
I'm
alignment
going to
with
do my
most of-
stream.
So
and then
this is a
take it from
deal.
there. Today's been a crazy day. Everything's just flipping and flopping. So I'm going to do that stream for like 40 minutes, and then I got to jump to the other stream. So it's going to be crazy. But
I know, and we're gonna go and raid you as soon as. Well, I'm assuming this is gonna end pretty soon. We'll go raid. Thanks for being here, Joe. Appreciate you guys. Let's bingo bango in the chat for Joe. Appreciate him. We're gonna head over to his stream as soon as we're done.
All right, guys. We'll see you soon. See you later. And
all right,
of course, smash the like. All right. See you soon.
Yes.
See ya.
Thanks, Joe.
All of these things happened, and it's a shame, but it is what it is. And now we're here. I want to see it end fast. I don't want to see this go on for years and years. Now, President Zelensky supposedly made a statement to AP. I'm not a big fan of AP, so maybe he said he thinks the war's going to go on for a long time. And he better not be right about that. That's all I'm saying.
This project, could this minimize the impact to the U.S. with chips should China decide to isolate Taiwan or China decide to take Taiwan?
Well, it's a very interesting point. It's a great question, actually, but this would certainly, I can't say minimize. That would be a catastrophic event, obviously, but it will at least give us a position where we have, in this very, very important business, we would have a very big part of it in the United States. So it would have a big impact if something should happen with Taiwan.
Are you looking at relieving Russian sanctions if there is a peace deal?
Well, we're going to make deals with everybody to get this war, including Europe and European nations. And they've acted very well. You know, they're good people. I know most of them are friends of mine, the heads of state, the heads of the various countries, prime ministers from the different, I got four prime ministers and five presidents called me over the last 2 days, and they want to work it out. They want to get it worked out. And I think they're also, you know, they're talking money, but the money is less important than the deaths. We're talking thousands of young people a week. And people would say, why do I care about Ukraine young people? Why do I care about, and not all young, but they're pretty young. You know, Ukraine is running a little bit low and they're getting older. They're recruiting older people. It's a very, very sad thing that's happening over there. And we want to get it finished. We want to stop the death.
Is there any room left for Canada and Mexico to make a deal before midnight? And should we expect those Chinese tariffs, the extra 10
room left for Mexico or for Canada? No, the tariffs, you know, they're all set. They go into effect tomorrow.
Mr. President, just to follow up on my colleague's question.
And just so you understand, vast amounts of fentanyl have poured into our country from Mexico. And as you know, also from China, where it goes to Mexico and goes to Canada. And China also had an additional 10. So it's 10 plus 10. And it comes in from Canada and it comes in from Mexico. And that's a very important thing to say. Yeah, please go ahead.
Decided if you're going to suspend
everything
military
seems
aid
to be
to
dropping.
Ukraine. Have you made that decision?
Well, I haven't even talked about that right now. I mean, right now, we'll see what happens. A lot of things are happening right now as we speak. I mean, literally as we speak. I could give you an answer and go back to my office, the beautiful Oval Office. I could go back into the Oval Office and find out that the answer is obsolete. It's like his business. It's obsolete. You come up with a new chip and it's obsolete about 2 minutes later, right? But that's what's good about his business. That's why he's the only one that's successful in it. But
just to follow up my colleague's question from Russia saying that your foreign policy is largely in line with their vision, should that be concerning to Americans?
said what?
Should that be concerning to Americans?
Read the statement.
That Russia says that your administration's foreign policy is, quote, largely in line with their vision.
Well, I'll tell you what, I think it takes two to tango, and you're going to have to make a deal with Russia, and you're going to have to make a deal with Ukraine. You're going to have the assent, and you're going to have the consent from the European nations, because I think that's important, and from us. I think everybody has to get into a room, so to speak, and we have to make a deal. And the deal can be made very fast. It should not be that hard a deal to make. It can be made very fast. Now, maybe somebody doesn't want to make a deal. And if somebody doesn't want to make a deal, I think that person won't be around very long. That person will not be listened to very long, because I believe that Russia wants to make a deal. I believe certainly the people of Ukraine want to make a deal. They've suffered more than anybody else. We talk about suffering. They've suffered. But if you think about it, under President Bush, they got Georgia, right? Russia got Georgia. Under President Obama, they got a nice big submarine base, a nice big chunk of land where they have their submarines. You know that, right? Crimea. Under President Trump, they got nothing. And under President Biden, they tried to get the whole thing. They tried to get the whole big Ukraine,
the whole
thing. If I
enchilada.
didn't get in here, they would have gotten the whole thing. So I can only say you can go back to Bush, you can go back to Obama, and go back to Biden. They took a lot. The only one they didn't get, you know what I gave them? I gave them anti-tank missiles. That's what I gave them. I gave them sanctions on Russia. I gave them javelins. You know the javelins? You know, when they took out all those tanks? You know, the tanks were heading to Kiev by the hundreds, and they were unstoppable. And I gave them javelins. So, you know, I really, Putin is the one that will tell you this has not been so good for them. The fact is that I just want fairness. I want fairness. But think of it. I gave Russia nothing except grief. I gave them nothing. I gave them sanctions and javelins. That's what I gave them. Obama gave them sheets. And you heard that statement before. It's a very famous. Trump gave them javelins and Obama gave them sheets. How close I am to Russia. And let me tell you, we have to make a deal because there are a lot of people being killed that shouldn't be killed. But remember, Trump gave them nothing and the other presidents gave them a lot. They gave them everything.
You met with Argentine President Javier Milei at CPAC. He wants to sign a free trade agreement with the United States. Is that something that you would consider even with Argentina or any other country?
I'll consider anything. And Argentina, I think he's great, by the way. I think he's
We're going to be
a great
breaking
leader.
from this in a few minutes,
He's doing
folks,
a great job. He's
and
doing
then
a
heading over to
fantastic job.
Joe.
Brought it back from oblivion. Yeah, we'll look at things. We're looking at the UK with things. It doesn't have to be tariffs, but tariffs are easy. They're fast. They're efficient. And they bring fairness. For instance, when people kill their dollar, their equivalent of the dollar, whether it's the yuan or the yen in Japan or the yuan in China, drop them down. That puts us at a very unfair disadvantage. So all I have to do is say, Howard, we're going to have to raise the tariffs a little bit, because I've called President Xi, I've called the leaders of Japan to say you can't continue to reduce and break down your currency. You can't do it because it's unfair to us. It's very hard for us to make tractors, Caterpillar, here when Japan, China, and
we're gonna end it, and because he's going longer on his comments and questions than I thought he was going to do. He made it sound like he was going to be right out of there, but he likes to talk. Let's just put it that way. He definitely likes to talk. All right. I appreciate everybody that's been here today. Thank you for the huge contingent of people on X. Thank you very much for watching today. Appreciate you. Everybody that was on YouTube, everybody in the comments. Jesse, you did a great job today. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Now we're going to head over to see Joe. Joe's trying to squeeze in his own live stream between this one and Piper Academy. So we're going to head over there. When you get there, type it in CCM raid that we're there. If you're on X, you're not going to be transferred over. So either jump over to YouTube real quick or go ahead onto Trade Intuition's X account, and then you can watch him live there. All right, we're heading out. Thank you. Tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, myself, BC Pork Corp, and Crypto Bedell will be talking all about the crypto reserve announcement by Trump and giving you our opinion with regard to that. So make sure that you're here tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Again, appreciate everybody. And yes, going to see you all at Joe's live stream. So I'm going to hit that outro and we're going to head over there now. All right. See you there.